Hello and welcome to our channel. This is part 5. We are going to continue on interior in 2-point perspective. We had other 4 sessions. In the previous sessions we practiced on simple exterior on 1 point and 2 points perspective, and we had some practice on 1 point interior perspective. And today we are going to practice few simple interior in 2 point perspective. Like always, I am going to switch on SketchUp, and we will study the option, how we can play with the place of the vanishing point, how we can manage them, how we can use them, and the possibilities for this perspective. Okay, here let's try with a cube. For interior perspective, we need to go inside the cube. And I want to show the vanishing point, so I'm going to erase this and continue this line so we can understand them better. Okay, I'm going to stay in that corner, and you can see I can have one of the vanishing points there. Just I'm going to change the field of view to 65. Now you can see we can have both of the vanishing points inside our perspective, but this is not right. Like this, looking to the corner in the middle, it's not a good thing. I know most of the students are starting with the corner in the middle, but looking into the one side, it gives you a better angle. It's looking better, and you can show, instead of 2 sides, you can show 3 sides. So 1 point is in this situation, 1 point is out of the frame and 1 is in the middle. You can see it's not 1 point perspective, it's 2 point perspective. If I look at like this, exactly, and now it's 1 point perspective, 1 in the middle and the other one is completely horizontal. But if I rotate my head a bit, it's became 2 point perspective. Just this point is out of the frame. I can look at to this side or this side. Okay, now we are ready to start this perspective with a simple cube. I'm starting with the horizontal line, just as we are not going to show the horizon in the interior perspective, I'm drawing it in another layer. And here you can do this with pencil. You can make a grid. All of these lines are parallel with this direction, with this vanishing point. If I want to draw a line parallel with this point, I can use this vanishing point, and I'm doing the same thing for the other point. This could be like this in the background. Okay, now I can start with the corner here or in the middle, as I said before, or next to one of these, but that will make this smaller, the grid. As I showed you in the SketchUp, we can have one of the point inside of our perspective. So I can start with a face around this, around one of them, for example this one. And now, like 1 point perspective, I am using this vanishing point to draw some lines to showing the depth. So this is our interior perspective. Just one thing, you don't need to continue the line too much. Imagine in your mind, imagine a rectangle like this, and don't draw anything out of this. Or you can have your vanishing point, the other one, out of your frame. Then imagine this could be like this. If you're drawing on a paper with hand, you can put your point on the table somewhere, and after drawing that grid, you can erase it. This is a simple interior. How I can change this? If I change that face we started at the beginning, at the end, with anything, like any changes, like moving this point up, or also this point up, we can change that face into this, and you can continue with drawing this line. And we don't need this line anymore. So this could be one option, this one. I want to keep it here. And again, I can change this section. I want to try too much things. Then you can understand it easily. Okay, we can easily change the roof with anything. Like one arc in one side, maybe in the middle. I don't know, like this. And we can continue with few lines coming from the vanishing point and one from the top point here, and we can draw more. Okay, we can repeat that curve. This could be another option. Just I'm trying to do it in a very simple way. Or we can think here it's double height floor or maybe more, and we can draw another section to showing it. Like, for example, it must be parallel with this line going to the other vanishing point. Here it must be a floor. We can have more height and maybe another one there. And one more floor. And we can have a roof like this there. And we don't need these back lines anymore. We can erase them. You can't see them. Also, we can erase this. You can repeat the section lines like this, parallel with the beginning. Just as you're going closer, the distance between the lines became more. Slowly, it became bigger. Maybe we can have some lines on the ground. again with the vanishing point, and maybe one more coming from the other one. And I guess I can erase this side, maybe a bit from here. This is looking better. It could be a vertical perspective. Let's try another one. Just I want to keep it simple, and slowly we can make it more complicated. Okay, I'm going to put also this one to the other side. Okay, now I'm going to erase this and start it over again with a bit more complicated section. Okay, what we can do, for example, one side here could be to floor. The other side could be like this, and we can have some steps here also going down. You can have a shader somewhere here. And maybe there are some poles here, and we can continue with some lines coming from the vanishing point. We don't need these back lines anymore. Also here we can erase this. Slowly I can add more details, like for example on the pool. This must be following the other vanishing point. Also this one. And here we can have some frames for the window. This is the continue of the upper frame. Here it must be somewhere here, or we can move it more outer, so the ground also must be there. The ground must be on the same level. Oops. Okay, we can continue parallel with the first section. This distance slowly we will make it bigger, and slowly, instead of 2 lines, we can draw 3 to showing some depth. Here we can again parallel with the first line, 3 vertically line. At the back, for example, this part could be wall, and with some stone textures on it. For drawing stone texture, for example, I'm drawing one rectangle here, one here, one here, one here. Try to draw in a different place, then with same size, then change the size and do it again in different place. You don't need to be clean, and try to fill the between. You can see even small hatches are very helpful. Here we need to use some lines going to the other vanishing point, so I'm drawing a few lines first, then I can fill between them. I can draw lines between them. It's not like one point perspective, they are not parallel. they are going to same vanishing point. One out of the paper. We can have a linear light here, maybe. Okay, do you remember we talked about the invisible rectangle? We can use it all again here. I'm drawing a rectangle. It's helping me to where I can finish my perspective. So here I can continue these lines more. Can add some greens here. Here we can have some lines parallel with the mid vanishing point. One way for the structure is not right. We have some lines in the other direction. These could be thinner. Imagine there's a movable shader from this top, and it could be goes down all the way, but it's semi-open. For example, this one is half closed and rest of it is open. This one is this much. I'm making this side dark. This one is this much open. This one is could be. Just be careful. These lines must be aimed this vanishing point. This one could be this much open. Maybe more. Check these small lines in the other direction. It's really helpful. Make this corner darker and add some lines in the another direction to showing those shaders better. And the last one. And the back side, still I'm thinking maybe this part could be stone. This is not a certain place. I started with with a random section. Just we want to show the possibilities. And even I don't know the function of this place or what it could be. It's just a random thing. Here we can have a frame for the window, also here, one here, maybe one here, and and what we can have outside could be some line again going to the vanishing point. I'm leaving a gap to show this line is going behind this line. This gap is 1 millimeter from each side. We can have some trees there. Maybe some grasses, try to draw them so small. The grass are not going to vanishing point, just draw them horizontally. As this is also glass, if I show a black trees there, could be visible like this. A tree like this will help us to show these details better. Now it's more understandable. I can draw one more bigger here, maybe. can have one more here. Let me teach this right now in another layer. What I'm doing here, it's a rectangle like this. I'm filling with black, and slowly, it's a simple hatch, and slowly add some lines around it like this with different lengths, but all of them are small. One side could be a bit darker, and we need to erase this frame. Or when you're drawing like what I did in the other side, you need to prevent the drawing on these lines. Okay, maybe one small here. And if I close the grid, now it's looking nicer. And I can add some reflection in the pool. For example, for the reflection, we have a line here. Under this line, we need to show that line with some horizontal line, like this. We have one here, like this. Here, this is lighter, this is darker. Here we can draw more horizontal line. And this corner, we can repeat those lines to make it darker. We can do same here. Close to the steps, it could be darker. First, draw some, then repeat it in the upper side to make it darker, then repeat it again. And we can also continue these lines, show the frames maybe. We can make this face darker. And imagine just, I don't want to show the shadow, but imagine just few lines for the shadow is enough. For example, imagine the light coming from this side, and I can show a shadow here. Hatch like this. And just make some of the This some lines of this texture darker. And I can do same here. Can have some lines for showing some light source. Maybe some linear light like this. And here maybe we can draw two figures. A bit shadow under them and some parallel with the and slowly by adding any details it's looking better and better. Here we can have some plants. What kind of plants you can draw? For example, this kind of this maybe. Or this kind of anything you need, anything you want. Some of them could be dark, quite dark, some of them with some hatches, and leave some of them white. Maybe here we can have a plant like this. and we can see some of its leaves. And on this wall, finally, maybe we can add some opening. I know this is completely inside the shadow, but you don't need to draw that shadow. And from simple perspective to complicated view. So the structure is same, the structure is easy. What we are adding is more hatch, more lines, some shadows, some plants, some reflections, some trees, and some figures. It's all to make a better looking perspective. And we have lots of tutorials for drawing trees and figures. There are some playlists for it on the channel, and again, but we will teach them again and again with better videos. Here we are going to try to improve everything. Okay, just I'm going to add some lights on this to again giving more better looking than this. In continue, I want to use Photoshop for coloring, for giving better looking to this perspective. I can try some color in the daytime, or I can turn it into night and try some night coloring and some lighting in the night. I guess the second one is more interesting for me. So I have two layers. Doesn't matter, you can use one of them. It's just a gray color, multiply. It's 62, 82 opacity, and under that I have few layers for just a texture. paper texture, and here I can, under the line, I can create some layers for lighting. For all the layer for lighting, I'm using overlay, and then we can pick a color in between, sometimes red, between red and green. For example, I'm going to start with this color. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I added this to just randomly. I'm doing this with mouse, and I can start erasing where you can have those lights and where you don't need them. If I put, for example, 2 layers, this one and one more in a group, and instead of erasing, I can use mask for this. Then if I draw anything in that group, I don't need to erase the mask part. I will show you how it's working. Now just I'm picking this part, I'm selecting this part, and I'm using bucket for black color. You can see it here, black color. Okay, now if inside this group folder, in the another layer, I add another color for let's just use red randomly. If I go out of this frame, it's not effective. You see, because I use mask. But it's not all. If I, for example, for this mask, I can make it better. For example, here also, maybe we don't need to have any light. Again, I'm using black on this mask. We can have there, maybe we don't have out of here. here, for example, it's mostly windows, and I can erase it. Just I want to keep if I use bucket, I don't have any lighting even on these frames. So I can do this, and the next step I can select these frames and maybe shaders. Okay, I can use white color here. I don't have any light there because of that it's invisible, nothing happened. But in the folder, as I said, in this one, if I use that red color, you can see how it's working. Okay, I'm going to just use this. Then on the frame, slowly on the mask, I'm using white color. So we can have light effect also on these frames. I will change that red. This is just something I can recognize where I have mask, where I don't have. If the lights come from inside, we can have some shadow for these here. And also maybe we can have some light outside. Just with white and black. You can edit your mask. Now we have a mask. I can erase that red color. And slowly I can add other colors wherever I need. Like under this wall. For example, I can select this, make another layer, maybe a bit so close to red, and with gradient, color to transparency. You can make that. I'm thinking about more reddish. And we can do same for the other one. Maybe we can have some on the frames, I'm not sure. Maybe with yellow, not with red. Okay, this is all general lighting. Can make another layer. If you repeat same color in the other places that you have light, the first one, if you repeat it, you can have more light. Just don't forget to turn it to overlay. And it doesn't need to always using soft brushes. You can use some watercolor brushes to giving some texture, or any other brushes that you have. This one could be softer, a bit like this, and maybe we can erase this part. Or maybe we can keep it. I made another layer, just this time I want to use it on this plant. Just made it, use it with very low opacity. For example 20, then you can make contrast. One is so soft, and one more time you can control it much easier. one time, sort of, one more time, and I can show these frames better. Also, can draw some lines on the plants like this. Another layer, this time maybe a bit red, with a bit lower opacity, and some horizontal line on the water. Can use also that red color linear like this. We have a mask here. I want to use this mask for showing the sky in the background. Let's create another layer, this time in we will try. I'm not sure about the color. I can change it. Even I'm not sure about adding a sky. Again, overlay. Now I can select it holding control, clicking on this mask. I can select this mask. If I use this, it's applying same mask on this. But if I go to select inverse for selection, I can reverse it. And on this mask, I can again add these parts, the bucket. Okay, outside we have blue, inside we have yellow and red. But here you can use Ctrl U and you can try the other colors. Lighter or colorless or more colorful. Right, it is more colorful. This is colorless. I'm not sure about that. I can use Ctrl B and I can change the tone. More blue. And finally, on all of this, here I can use contrast. And maybe we can use color balance. For example, I'm a bit happy with this. It doesn't look bad. And having some blue also here. From this line inside remember we can use black and white for adding or removing that part. Just it doesn't matter which brush I'm using, just I want to erase the mask now. Maybe quickly we can do something for them. Just I'm wondering, is it possible to do something so fast or not? I want to try. Maybe one watercolor brush like this with orange on overlay. Triple click. Maybe I can keep this side and erase the ground. just a very quick thing. Or we can leave them like that. Okay, just I'm looking, maybe something new comes to my mind, or maybe I can finish it like this. Just you need to most of the time when after finishing whole the thing before uploading on YouTube, I'm starting to revising the sketch because after few minutes watching it, something new comes to your mind. So don't finish it so soon. Maybe I'm thinking about another layer with range, yes, or drawing some extra plants. Okay, let's finish it here. I'm Meyssam Seddigh. Thank you for watching. After this video, I will publish most of the videos for the members. So I will be appreciated if you be one of our members. It will help us so much to continue this path. Sure, I will share more videos for public, but I will try to make a difference between the members and the public videos, and sure, what I'm going to share for the members is much more better. Thank you for watching. Have a good time. See you again soon.